TRT World's defense analyst, Oubai Shahbandar, joins us now live in the studio to discuss this more. Thanks for coming in. First of all, just clarify, does this delay effectively mean this deal is canceled?
Well, Andrea, there's certainly no question that this decision by the Pentagon comes at a very delicate time in Ankara-Washington relations, especially at a time when they're continuing the discussions on the future of counterterrorism cooperation in Syria post-Daesh. So now what happens? We have to remember that Turkey is the largest recipient of, in terms of the U.S. defense industry. It's very important for Turkey, but at the same time, Turkey is also the third largest buyer of F-35 exports, right behind the UK and Japan. So we're talking about billions of dollars on the line here. And we're also looking at essentially a game of political brinkmanship. Washington is telling Turkey, we want you to buy our Patriot integrated air defense system and spurn the Russian S-400 deal. Americans are worried about potential complications and even espionage if the S-400 system is integrated in Turkey's network, which is obviously based on NATO configuration. So they're worried about the Russians gaining access to sensitive technology of the F-35. So it's very difficult to see what's going to happen here, because let's also remember local Turkish suppliers such as the Turkish aerospace industry are also major producers for incredibly important components of the F-35, which is, of course, a NATO joint production effort. And Turkey in the recent years has also been significantly investing heavily in its domestic production system for its defense industry. It's telling the Americans, look, we can negotiate regarding the Patriot integrated air defense system, but we want a better deal. We want technology transfer. We want joint production.
Right.
Washington has said no, and so Turkey is now looking to Moscow.
It's interesting, though, because you mentioned the amount of money that has been spent and the fact that this was a joint cooperation project. And because of that, Turkey really seemed to be somewhat confident that they couldn't just cancel this deal. There was too much money to be lost, and the deal was really just too complicated to unwind. But the U.S. seems to not really care about whatever complications this might...
Well, a lot of money and a lot of time also at stake here. Now, the Pentagon is saying that it can find alternative suppliers, but that will take a long time to certify, and it could lead to significant interruptions and increases in the cost of productions of these warplanes. But also, let's not forget that Turkey definitely depends on American combat aircraft. It's going to take a long time for Turkey to develop its own indigenous combat aircraft. So it seems that we are certainly at a major political deadlock between the two countries.
Political deadlock right now, and that doesn't bode well for the sometimes strained Turkish-American relationship. Oubai, we'll leave it there for now. Thanks.